This is the Sleon Productions podcast news segment, and where we interview users, authors, innovators, anyone involving in tech. And today we're talking about Clubhouse, a new audio invite-only chat app where people come into rooms, club rooms, on a particular topic. It could be from Bitcoin, tech, real estate, business, you name it. It's only growing. So if your topic isn't there, it might be coming soon. And today we got Pick from California, and she has been using Clubhouse, and we're going to ask her experience. Pick, welcome. Welcome. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
So, Pick, tell me a little bit about yourself and your involvement with technology.
Okay, so I am actually a designer and brand strategist. So I build brand for femtech startup. That's really what I do. Mm-hmm.
And what kind of startups do you do?
Femtech is female technology. So any technology that gears towards improving women's health.
That is, oh, wow. This is interesting. Never heard of that niche of the tech sector.
It's pretty new. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us your overall experience with Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, actually very interesting. I have a lot of colleagues, either they addicted to it or hate it, I guess. I'm kind of on, I don't know. I'm in the middle because sometimes on the Clubhouse is really great because it's, for me, it feels like it's the radio 2.0, right? It just, you can tune in very easily and you don't have to show your face, but you can also have a chance to raise your hands and talk. So that's actually very interactive, casual, but the topics are very in-depth. Some topics, like sometimes some Clubhouse I go to, they're stretching over 3 hours. So they really talk in-depth into topics. Actually, if you like certain topics, very interesting. Yeah.
When did you start using Clubhouse?
About a month ago, just a month. Yeah, a month ago. Not too long.
I got in around December, mid-December, actually. Uh-huh. And I did some research this past weekend, and I didn't know that Clubhouse has been around since last April.
Yes, they grow very fast.
It's interesting because I didn't know about it till December. So I was like, oh man, I'm so involved with tech. You know, you think that that you would know by then, but maybe it started really small. And then for some reason they probably had a spike towards the end, towards like the end of the year. And then obviously these past 3 months for sure, 2 months, because we're just
only past 2 months, really, you can see it everywhere. I think they probably get some investment in the past few months, and that's why they have the funding to really go out and promote themselves. I suspect. Yeah.
Tell us what are the positives and negatives of Clubhouse? What do you think it's needed? And what do you think one thing they really have a strength in?
Positive of Clubhouse. Well, it is very good because I was audience, and I also got invited into as a co-host moderator for 3 times. And as a guest, actually, I follow one professional group, the Future, they call it the Future. A lot of designers actually follow them. And he actually said that he has been, Crystal, the guy that is Crystal, he has been on Clubhouse for 3 weeks. He grew his audience from 0, basically, to now, I don't know, he's at over 20K or something. I think he said the first 2 weeks, it was 6K, and then now it's just exploding like fast. Of course, one thing, because he already have some followings on the other platform, but I think his content is good and it's new, a lot of people jumping on. So for him, he also see that he has course to sell. And he said that is exploding too because of Clubhouse. So I see there's a lot of opportunity. And for me, I'm small. I went on only 3 times, and audience is pretty small. Honestly, it's like 20 people in the room. and I do get people start following me. So it's exposure, that very easy exposure that I think people cannot ignore. Yeah.
Now, for followers, do you think there's more followers towards that guy's account, or is it more towards the room that he hosts that he has more followers in?
Uh, the followers, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's both because I listen and do have people come on saying that, wow, I just find out your room and it's really great. And he's that a few people start following him on Clubhouse only. So he did find new audience. Yeah. So it's great.
Now, how do you become a moderator? Is it something that's really easy to become? Because I know that one of my other friends put it on in his Instagram account. He's a Clubhouse moderator. It sounds pretty prestigious, but tell me how was like the difficulty to become a moderator?
No difficulty. So for me, actually, if you want, you can open your own home room and talk about topics, right? At the beginning, you might have just a couple friends or colleagues, and it will grow. It will grow slowly. Some might grow even grow fast if you already have audience in other platform. And yeah, no, it's no barrier of entry. The only thing is if nobody invited you as moderator, which for me, it was somebody invited me. If you don't, you just open your own room. Just do it yourself.
And which is interesting because one feature they do have in Clubhouse, which I really like, is scheduling those meetings.
Yes.
So you don't have to hit like do it now live and then like they'll notify everyone. You can schedule like, hey, I want to do it Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Big advantage of that. What do you think about like the whole scheduling part?
It's cool, but I think it can be better. For me, I feel like it's still very spontaneous. The scheduling notification is not that good yet. It's not like I can put it in my calendar easily. And so it's good, but it has improvement. Yeah,
If they
that's
could
what I see.
integrate like your phone's calendar, do you think that will help, or they have that already? Or
I don't see that they have it, at least as far as I know, because I really wanted to schedule it better, like just go into my calendar, my phone,
yeah,
my calendar. And it's most of the time I have to be actively going into the app to check, even I schedule it, right? Or it just pops up when the event comes in. But it can be the features because it's nice in the sense that, oh yeah, it's just spontaneous. Oh, okay, well, that sounds cool. Or let me hop on. It's like social media, right?
right.
I kind of understand that in that sense. Yeah.
I was listening to one of the like one of the owners, Paul, uh, one of the co-owners, and he was saying that pretty much you come in, come out. It's kind of like going into a meeting room. That's how the whole concept was. And then he did say why. I mean, not why, but I could see why he doesn't have a recording feature where if you're not at that meeting, you can listen to it later. Do you think there should be a recording feature, or do you think they just leave it live and just not have any recording?
Interesting. I understand the concept, but it seems like I've seen people recording themselves because it's a piece of good content. People don't want to waste it, right? If you're a content provider, I think they should have it, you know. Yeah, it's an
I agree
option.
with you because if you want to repost, I've seen people video record from their phone and post it
Yeah.
on YouTube. I've seen that, but I
Already. Yeah.
yeah, and what I understand from like the interviews that I was picking from the owners, like they don't want that. Like they prefer keep it just like a similar to a offline conversation, I guess. But
Yeah. So you have to. So what I've seen is that they actually, in the beginning or even during the time, they will mention to people that we are recording this. So if you come on, you do not want to be your voice, your opinion be recorded, you can just let them know, and they will just edit it out. So I've seen that. So I think that works and that makes sense. And I also see that, yeah, they have very good content. Honestly, sometimes I miss that Clubhouse meeting. Uh, I feel like the topic seems to be very interesting. I want them to have recording, you know?
I totally
So
agree. And if you don't, I guess you just have to write it down.
I did miss it, and I was kind of. But I went to Twitter and then asked the speaker, like the moderator, could you like say this point again and stuff. But yeah, having recording feels safer. I guess for us now, the generation, we just want spontaneous. Like I want this right now, whatever time they want. Not having recording is really, I don't know.
Yeah. I won't be
Yeah.
surprised they might add that towards the future. Also, another thing that I was thinking about it yesterday morning, driving, and I was thinking, I think Clubhouse is not for everyone. It feels like it's for people that are involved with technology or they're involved with social media and chat. I don't think like the average user of TikTok or Instagram will use Clubhouse. What do you think about like my theory on that? It's just wait, like I would say that Clubhouse is it's a little bit tech heavy, a little bit.
Tech heavy. No, not tech heavy, but I think definitely the audience are more mature, right? Because
Correct. Right word.
in order to talk, not seeing any visual, right? Basically, it has to be your ideas, right? And opinions. It just solely rely on that means you need to have some thoughts into what you think. So for kids, I think it's younger generation, I think it's harder because they might not have thought of certain issue that deeply that they can have this kind of conversation. Um, yeah, it's a different crowd, definitely, which I actually enjoy. Well, I'm older, so my teenager daughter, she doesn't care. So, but you don't know. You never know, though. You never know.
Topics wise, you think there's going to be more? I mean, like more topics being expanded. Like I'm wondering if there's sports. I don't know if there's a huge sports topic, but do you think like there's still going to be more topics being discovered?
Of course, I just find something very interesting yesterday, like networking. So yesterday I went into a room that is quiet room. So nobody talks and they just look at other people's each other's profile and then connect with each other. So it's like people are so creative. You don't have to talk, you just stay there, browse people profile and connect. Very creative. And I'm sure you'll see more and more of this creative idea in Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I think like the rooms that I've been to are the crypto ones and
Mm,
the social media ones, how to market better and things like that. So I've been very
mm.
interested
Yeah.
and hopefully getting more into it. But yeah, like I said, like with Clubhouse, it's an audio app. Able to leave the app, the audio is still playing, and it's only for iPhone. Like the Android has not been opened up. So imagine when that happens.
I know a lot of not a lot, a few of my friends who don't have Apple iPhone, they are so mad. They're so mad. And I think, yes, I have one colleague, he didn't have iPhone. And so he bought a iPad because I guess iPad also can access to Clubhouse. He bought an iPad just for Clubhouse. God.
Yeah, no, it's true. What do you think about the interface of Clubhouse?
It's good. It's good, easy, simple, right? And in general, I like simple interface, but I do also see that there are more features can be added. But then I also worry like as I have more features and more complicated to use. We'll see though. Yeah, that's a challenge.
What features would you add?
I want chatting, like messaging, direct message that person, or like the moderator can like just like what they use, right? Using Twitter to ask question. Maybe you have a direct message format for the moderator to see what people are typing. I don't know. I something more definitely good. And or if I can direct message the person that I like to follow, that would be better than just asking me to go on Twitter or Instagram, Yeah.
I agree. They should have a message feature, at least that. Have that first and then like recording. I agree.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
because right now all you can do is go to that person's profile and look at their Instagram or their Twitter, but
Yeah.
you can't message them. I'm sure that's coming because they got I believe they got more
Issue.
funding lately and they're evaluated
Yeah.
about uh $1 billion, $1 billion.
Yes. Oh, billion. Yes, they're
Yeah,
billion. They're
it's probably more by
crazy.
now. Who knows? It keeps going up.
I
But
know.
no, this is good. This is good stuff. Well, Pick, thank you very
Mhm.
much for your time. Um,
No problem.
what's your Twitter handle again?
My Twitter is my full name, Kung Pik Liu, KungPikLiu.
Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
Pig, thank you so much. We'll keep
No
in touch.
problem.
And you be in Clubhouse this week, probably?
Yeah, I usually go on at least once or twice. So, yep, I'll be there.
Benny Salas here with us, talking about Clubhouse. He joined about sometime at the end of 2020. Hey, Benny, how you been?
Man, Santiago, I'm great, man. It's Monday, and so I'm on a podcast with you. Can't complain about that. I'm doing something right if I'm on this podcast.
Oh, Benny, you're definitely
Oh
definitely one of
man,
my heroes when it comes to tech in South Florida. Influential. I've been involved. I mean, of course, in like the church world, but also in the Miami tech scene. You can say because you do dabble with it a bit, but I know you're more into the public speaking and
yeah,
definitely growing it. So Clubhouse, I got an invite, I believe in December, early December or late December by my friend Danny up in New York. I think you might have invited me as well back in December. How'd you hear about Clubhouse and when did you join?
yeah. So I was on Instagram, and then I get this DM by a guy named Joey, um, and he said, "Hey, have you heard of Clubhouse? I think you'd be great on it." And it was actually December 4th of 2020. Okay, pretty much around the same time you did. And so I get on it. I was like, I don't really understand it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. These are my people. These are people who are doing what I want to do in terms of really creating that digital footprint, even more, right? There are people who are talking about things that add value. There were some rooms that I got into that I was like, okay, what is this about? But man, as soon as he put me on, I was hooked. I was hooked immediately. Immediately, I was hooked. And then I saw during the first month, I grew 1,000 followers in a month organically. Yep, organically. And so 1,000 followers grew there. My Instagram grew. My people interested in my programs grew. It just was like, I don't even know how to explain it. It just was like, boom. And this is when, of course, this is when it really started to hit the market, right? In December. And so I think there was a lot of interest. And then everybody started to come out of the woodwork. I'm an expert in this, I'm an expert in this. And everybody was a millionaire now. And it was like, okay, like, then everybody's pitching. And so I have just, for me, found the rooms that have been the ones that I can add value to and the ones that I think align more with who I am and my personal brand, and then the kind of business that I know I can help provide solutions to. And so it really started in December of 2020, and I'm not looking back.
One of the aspects that I liked about Clubhouse was, I'm about like all about audio. Obviously, I listen to radio, I listen to podcasts. I rather listen to podcasts than go to YouTube. Um, why this aspect of Clubhouse? It has a feeling of a conference call
Right.
slash live radio. Why do you think this thing has? Why do you think Clubhouse has been working well for you and for everyone else?
So I think the first thing, I mean, I look at the timing of the app. The timing could not have been better. And again, because you're talking about we went through a whole year of trying to figure out, so much adjusting, and for people like who are service-based businesses like myself, we build our businesses on going out to speak, being in front of audiences, being able to connect, being able to share our message, and then obviously having that strong call to action on how to help people take the next step. And so I think for not only myself, who's in a service-based business, but people who have a message that they're not sharing now actually got an opportunity to speak. And I feel like this is where, the buzzword on Clubhouse is adding value, just add value, right? And so it goes to show you that people who for a long time maybe have not been speaking up, maybe have not been sharing their story, or maybe talking about their business, are hungering and really looking forward to those opportunities to speak. So in other words, people have more to say than what they're saying. But also, how do you organically take what you do, expand that a little bit more, and then really grow your audience reach, really grow your messaging, and grow your brand and grow your business? Again, people are using Clubhouse for different things. There's some rooms that I really, really love, and there's some rooms for me that kind of get redundant, that just aren't like my vibe. But that's the beauty about it. You can find a room that if you don't find the room, guess what? You can create the room that you're looking for. And so they recently just opened up the option to develop your own club. So I developed my own club. I think I got maybe like 70 to 100 members right now. I haven't even launched my first room in this club yet, but I just sent invites out, invites, and people have been following the club. So I'm excited about these things because, again, what this is going to do once Android users come on board, it's going to blow up, man, even more. It's going to blow up. I know people who have went and turned in their Android phones just to be on Clubhouse.
Yeah, that's something else. And of course, I've been hearing Android by the end of the year. So, pros and cons of Clubhouse. My first con that I noticed that they should add was recording, but then I listened to an interview from the founders and I understand their concept. Like they want it to be less pressure. So if you do recording, it'll be some type of pressure. Obviously, yes, if you have a recording, you're able to listen to it if you couldn't make it to that meeting. What are pros and cons for Clubhouse so far? I mean, now cons that you think like that
Yeah.
I could pretty much add to the app.
Yeah. I think some of the cons could be, well, I've seen it happen where people will come and hijack the room. And so, it's both good that once somebody comes into your room, right, whether you what they call pinging them in, rather they add it on their calendar, and I love the features that it gives you. But once they come into your room, and they raise their hand, which then you bring them up on stage. Once they're on stage, you can then go one layer up and make them a moderator. A moderator now has, you get this little green badge. A moderator now has the capacity to either bump anyone down back to the audience or bring somebody up and make them a moderator as well. So you have to be wise about who you ask to moderate, because I've seen certain rooms where somebody came in and they moderated them because they had a lot of followers. Well, then that person came and brought all their people, the numbers went up, and then they just kind of took over the room. Early on, what was happening is people, when they were calling like hijacking the room, was the person who opened that room, they would send them out of the audience and they would overtake their room. And so I think one con is just making sure that people are there for the right motives, the right intentions. I think another con could be, um, sometimes it gets. I mean, there were some rooms where it was more like very business like, and they were pitching, and one people were taking these ideas and actually running with these ideas that they were getting pitched. And so instead of, this person was coming with their own proprietary vision or their own proprietary, solution to a problem, and they were putting out in front of hundreds and thousands of people. And guess what? People were taking those ideas. So you want to be wise about how much you share on Clubhouse. You want to make sure that you're not just putting all your information out there. I've known, I recently was in a room where this lady kind of she kind of stuck her foot in her mouth. Okay. um, the person was talking about, getting their own handle, right? So let's say I want to do Santiago Leon .club. You can actually do that because .club is an actual, it's available. It's always available on work. And Santiago's going to go write it down right now. He's like,
I tried before, I think.
you tried, yeah. Right. And so the challenge there that I think I saw was, so this lady starts to say, hey, you know what? You know, you got to be careful with people because there are people who will take your address and they'll your domain name and then sell it to you. And so this lady who's got thousands of followers says on Clubhouse, man, I wonder who has my domain name. And this lady turns around and says, hold on, let me check. I think I got it. Wait a minute. Aren't you saying that that's the problem? And she says, oh, no, no, no. I might have it. And then she says, and if I do, I'll give it to you for free. Now, here's what's awkward about that. Okay. It's super awkward. People will go and buy your domain name and then sell it back to you for a higher price point.
Yeah.
And so what I think is happening is guess you call them pirates. These pirates are going around from club to club looking to see who are the people going by their own domain name, and then will sell it back to them at a higher price point because they know that they're going to need it. That's a con. That's only now not only a con, but a con artist, right? I don't think I don't think that's appropriate.
I've seen that back when Twitter first started. Like people will, take handles and they will sell it to people, and then Twitter would suspend those people that were doing that. But anyways, go ahead.
So then I get on and I say, "Excuse me, let me ask you a question." I said, "How is it that you are saying that that's wrong, but yet had she not asked about her handle and you would have had it, would you have really given it to her for free? And if so, why didn't you just give it to her already?" And she had nothing to say. She had nothing to say. And I got like message after message because the way obviously it works is right now Clubhouse doesn't have a direct message feature. So you link your Twitter and your Instagram, and they can message you on both. And so I got a bunch of DMs like, "Man, you called her out. Thank you so much." And then all of a sudden, she went back to the audience, and it was just sketchy. It was not right. So for me, like even my name, I trademarked my name, That Coaching Guy, and I actually trademarked that. I got the domain name. I have a few other things that is proprietary. That's mine. And so I'm going to trademark a few other things as well. I'm going to copyright a few things because again, it's that kind of business. I mean, you can't forget that there are people out there that want to hack. There are people out there who want to take advantage. Just like every other app that's out there, this is no different.
Have you seen Twitter adding a Clubhouse feature, which I believe is called Rooms?
Twitter
Have you
Spaces.
seen it, and what are your thoughts of them trying to, I guess, copy? I guess that's the right word.
Yeah, I think they're called Twitter Spaces, I believe, right? Or something like that.
Correct.
Well, I hear Instagram's going to do the same thing. They're going to Instagram Rooms. Um, you know, when Instagram did the whole story feature, I wondered how that was going to work. It worked out. When Instagram did the Reels feature, I wondered how that was going to work out. It worked out. I think you got to look at Instagram and say Instagram is always, they know how to saturate their market.
Undefeated.
Yeah, they're undefeated. Exactly. And so, will that change Clubhouse? Maybe. It'd be interesting to know. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out because if they add some of those like features, like again, you can't really do a recording. You could, but then again, you kind of have that already with your live. So if they just revamp the live feature, that will allow there to be almost like now instead of just seeing people come up and just messaging, now I have a room full of people that I can click on and message, right? And there's one person that's live. I think that could be cool where one person is live, but other people can weigh in audio. I don't know if that works out that way because that would be a great way to record. Like I know people who are really recording their morning shows now on Clubhouse, and you know what they're doing? So their first hour of their morning show, they're recording it. Everybody listens in, and then everyone from Clubhouse who's been listening in already, anyways, will then have like this like after party or like, hey, after this after show gathering to talk about the show. Okay. I know some people are using Clubhouse where they're doing a live event and say, hey, join me for the after party on Clubhouse. So think about that. Everyone's going back to Clubhouse, continuing the dialogue and the conversation, and now everybody who follows them on Clubhouse also gets notified that person's in a room. And that's the beauty about Clubhouse. There's no other app like it. None.
Penny Salas, what is the best way to reach you online?
You can go to Instagram at That Coaching Guy. You can also, I just got a new text feature, which you should really, I can put that number out there real quick. You can text That Coaching Guy or coaching to 754-203-5512. You can obviously follow me on Clubhouse, Benny Salas, or at That Coaching Guy. Twitter as well at That Coaching Guy. Facebook, you can find me at Benny Salas. And then, I'm out and about, man. If you want to email me, it's benny@thatcoachingguy.com.
Benny Salas, thanks a lot, bro. Appreciate it. Glad you're doing well, and hopefully tenfold.
You got it, brother.